Having strong pelvic floor muscles is a big deal, and everything else, a small fries and side order. Today, we're talking about pelvic floor muscle training. Now, the first question you may ask is, what's a pelvic floor? I got you. 1. Your pelvic floor are the set of muscles that are found in your pelvis. And the pelvis is the bony structure that we find at the hip area. It looks like a butterfly, right? And the muscles are found inside the pelvic floor and around it, right? Now, why are we training these muscles and why are they important? So our pelvic floor muscles are a part of our core. What is your core? Our core are our belly muscles, with back muscles, our diaphragm. Our diaphragm is our main muscle of breathing, and then our pelvic floor at the base. And those 4 groups of muscles work together to keep you stable and keep you moving, keep you having a good posture and being able to stand upright and move and so on throughout the day. Our pelvic floor muscles, 1, help to keep us continent. What does that mean? Those muscles help you to be able to manage your urine, so we're not just wetting up ourselves with urine on a day-to-day basis. You feel an urge to pee, and then when you feel that urge, as the urge gets stronger, you would go to the toilet and open the muscles naturally, and the urine just flows out, right? That is being continent. Incontinence is when you're not able to control your bladder. That could be for a variety of different reasons, which we'll do in another video. Then there is the other side of things, being able to keep your poop in. So the ability to know when your body, that urge comes when you need to go and pass some stool, is because of the pelvic floor muscles and the nerves surrounding that. So pelvic floor muscles are very important for continence, both urinary continence and fecal continence. Another reason why we train our pelvic floor muscles are, for example, for us as women, have great orgasms. Who don't want to have a great orgasm? It's good for you. Train them muscles. Another reason is we want that our muscles are nice and strong. For example, when we choose to have a child, when we're going into labor and delivery, we want our muscles, yes, we want them to relax, but we want to have nice and strong muscles to be able to carry you through the pregnancy, manage the load of the weight of the baby for the period of time that we're pregnant, and then to help you to deliver the child if you're having a vaginal delivery. And even if you're not having a vaginal delivery and you're having a C-section, we want those muscles to be nice and strong so that when you're in recovery mode, you would not start from ground zero. Yeah? If you have weak muscles and you're at ground zero, when with the surgery now, which is a C-section, you're gone to -4 and 5. We want you to have strong muscles so that even when we now have to cut through and push you a little further back, you are not starting so far behind in terms of your strength. Okay? So those are some of the reasons that we want to have strong pelvic floor muscles. Now, what do we do to train these pelvic floor muscles? Did you guess it? Because I'm sure none of you guessed it. Guess what, guys? It's exercise. Yep, exercise. So we want to teach you how to activate the different muscles of the pelvic floor, and that's why you come to a pelvic floor physiotherapist. We go through, we teach you how to strengthen levator ani, pubococcygeus, right? All these nice muscles. Yes, them have these big scientific names, but they're muscles, and they are what control what's happening in your pelvic floor, and they work along with the remainder of the 3 muscle groups in the core to keep you going on a daily basis. So they are important to be trained. Just like how we want to be able, for example, you want to be able to lift up a bag, right? And you say, no man, I have to strengthen up my biceps so I can lift up this little shopping bag that is so hard for me. If that's what's going on with you, right? You have to know, do the reps. 3 sets of 10, for example, you start off with no weights. Then we can add weights. And it's the same thing with the pelvic floor. A lot of times we don't necessarily start adding weights early. We want you just to use your body weight and train those muscles. So we're training the muscles of the core, we're training the muscles around the hip, as well as those specifically in the pelvic floor, so that they're working well. Then, yes guys, you guessed it, there are vaginal weights. There are weights for men, and you know, men, there's only one way to get internally to the pelvic floor. But we use weights and we can place them into the pelvic floor and start to increase that strength training for the pelvic floor. When I speak of vaginal weights, they come in different weight categories. For example, just like how you would have a 1 pound dumbbell versus a 2 pound, a 3 pound, a 4 pound, a 5 pound. There we are. We have vaginal weights that we use in the pelvic floor to help to get those muscles nice and strong. So yes, strength training is important for the pelvic floor. But there's one other thing that I don't think a lot of people take into account with training the pelvic floor. We have to learn how to relax. Now, let's look at the analogy again of my biceps. If my biceps, I contract them and my arm comes up this way, right? Can you imagine if this muscle here, the same biceps, can't relax to allow my arm to come back down? Of course it works with the triceps, but if this muscle is not relaxing, we have a problem. And if I was there with my arm stuck like this for a period of time, I'd go find a doctor because I'd say something is wrong. We're teaching strength, we need to also teach relaxation because muscles work both ways. It's extremely important. Another thing that persons don't realize for the pelvic floor is that I kind of alluded to it earlier when I told you that the pelvic floor is a part of the core and your main muscle of breathing, the diaphragm, is a part of the core. So for you to be able to activate your core well, and activate your pelvic floor muscles and use them well and train them well, guess what? You need to learn how to breathe well. So coming to a pelvic floor physio, we're going to teach you how to breathe. We're going to teach you that me taking in a breath doesn't automatically mean that I need to hold it to be able to, for example, put my belly in. There are different muscle systems. They work independently as well as they work together. So we walk you through all these things so that your core and by extension your pelvic floor functions properly and effectively so that you're able to do all the things that you need to do. You can, for example, dance and jump and skip and not wake up yourself. You can lift up your baby or lift weights. We're here on Musclecraft. We do virtual training too. Check us out. If you're not able to get to us locally here in Jamaica or virtually and you really want to go in, we can help you to find someone in your area. And we have connections to the United States, Canada, and other places in the Caribbean where we do have a few pelvic floor physios, as well as in Africa. So guys, places where you feel like you can't get the help, don't worry, reach out to us and we will try to connect you to pelvic floor physios all over the world that can help you. I'm so happy that you learned a lot today. Let me know if there's any questions that I haven't answered for you and we'll do a video about that. And guys, you want to have strong pelvic floor muscles.